Did you know you can buy an investment property, rental property, without having to verify a single dollar of your income or even verify your employment? Well, if you watch my other videos, you'd probably know that yes, that's possible using a DSCR mortgage. And in this video, I'm going to explain what DSCR mortgages are and why I feel they're the best possible mortgage for obtaining an investment property. So a DSCR mortgage, right, which are letters, literally DSCR, stands for debt service coverage ratio. So all this really means is that in order to qualify for a DSCR mortgage, on top of the fact that you need a down payment of at least 20%, on top of that, you don't need to verify traditional employment and you don't have to verify traditional income. What a lender's looking at on this type of mortgage is that the servicing, meaning the rent that you receive on this investment property based on what market rent is. You don't have to receive a single dollar of rent prior to closing. The appraiser who's going to go out and determine the value of the property is also going to determine what the market rent would be. So a lender's going to look at what that market rent is. Let's just say that the market rent for the property is $3,000. Keep this simple. That's your rent. The payment, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, in this case, needs to be $3,000 or less. This rent payment covers this payment, and therefore the debt's covered, right? Debt service coverage ratio. Extremely, extremely simple. And the most common is a 1-to-1, right? 1-to-1 meaning that this number needs to equal this number. But there are ways to obtain a DSCR loan where it's not 1-to-1, because unfortunately, that's just not going to be the case every time. Maybe your intent is to have it as a short-term rental, like an Airbnb, and there's not enough data available to support a monthly income from that property that would outweigh the payment. But you know in real life there is, right? Maybe your payment's $3,000, but on a monthly rental basis, meaning an annual rent, it only rents for $1,800 if someone were to sign an annual lease with you. But that's not what you're using it for. You plan to use it as an Airbnb because maybe it's in an area like near Disney World, for example, where you know you can rent the property out on a nightly basis because it allows for it, and you're going to make a lot more money that. Maybe you know that if you rent it out on a nightly basis, you're going to get $10,000 a month in income on a short-term rental, right? Which more than exceeds the $3,000. So it makes financial sense for you as an investor. But if it's only showing $1,500 on an annual rent, right, and your payment's $3,000, well, this is half of what this is. That wouldn't work on a 1-to-1 DSCR. However, if you're able to put down more money, typically 30%, right, which some of you are not going to be in a position to do that, others will be. But if you are someone who's in a position to do that, and you put 30% down on your investment purchase using a DSCR loan, well, this 1-to-1 requirement goes away. And as a matter of fact, you don't have to show any rent. So your rent could technically be zero, and it's still going to be okay if your payment on the property is any number for that matter, because the risk is reduced by having the higher down payment, and therefore the lenders that offer this program will allow you to have a zero DSCR, meaning there's really a no ratio DSCR. So you're not verifying any income, you're not verifying any employment. You don't have to show that the rent can cover the payment on the property. You strictly need to have a qualifying credit score, which varies from lender to lender, and you need to have the money to cover the down payment on that property, anywhere from 20% plus. If you're going zero DSCR, you're going to be at 30% plus. And you're going to need to have reserves, meaning money in the bank after you close on the property. So if you're looking to buy an investment property and want to learn more about DSCR loans, make sure to check out the video on my link where I give a more detailed explanation of how these loans work and what you need to do to qualify for them. This is just an abridged version of what a DSCR loan is. And make sure to subscribe to my channel if you want more information on real estate and mortgages, and comment below if you have questions about a DSCR loan for yourself.